Hello all, welcome back to EduInfo. Today we are discussing about child growth and development and pedagogy. You all know that child psychology will be there for 30 marks. Here I am trying to do it in a syllabus wise. So if you want more videos like this, you can comment in the comment section. So let us start the video. Firstly, let us know the difference between growth and development. What is growth? Growth is an increase in the size of the body. It is physical maturity, measures in centimeter and kg. Height will be measured in centimeter and weight will be measured in kg. And it stops at certain age. So growth has limit. It's a limited process. And quantitative. Growth is quantitative in nature. When it comes to development, certain changes occurs from birth to death. It happens from birth to death. Both physical and mental maturity here. Both quantitative and qualitative. One more thing, growth can be included in development, but development cannot be included in growth. These are the difference between growth and development. You should remember these points because so many questions were asked about growth and development. Let us move on to next slide. Stages of development. Here, birth to 2 years of a child, we will call it as infancy. This also had asked in a TT exam. Then 2 years to 6 year, early childhood, pre-primary. And 6 years to 12 years, later childhood. Child will be in primary stage, schooling stage. And 12 years to 18 years, adolescence, secondary and senior secondary. 18 years to 40 years, young adulthood. 40 years to 65 years, mature adulthood. Over 65, above 65 years, we will call it as aged adulthood. So these are the stages of development. You should remember the years. Birth to 2 years, up to 2 years infancy. So all these things you have to remember. Let's move on to next slide. In development, we have different domains. In that, firstly, we will discuss about physical domain. Physical domain includes cephalocaudal development and proximodistal development. What do you mean by, firstly, let us discuss about cephalocaudal development. What do you mean by cephalo and caudal? Two words are here. You might have seen fish, right? In fish, while labeling, we will label this fin as caudal fin. Have you remember? So caudal is nothing but tail. So cephalum is nothing but head. Okay. So here, according to this cephalocaudal development happen. Look at the picture. Development will takes place from the head to toes. Okay. You should remember this. Cephalo means head, caudal means tail, here toe. Okay, development happen from head to toe, not toe to head. Okay. Then first, according to this, the child first gains control of its head, then the arms. After that, fingers, head, and then arms, then legs. This also you should remember. First child gains the control of head, then arms, then legs. Okay. Infants gain control of head, face movements within the first 2 months after birth. So this is about cephalocaudal. Here you have to remember at least cephalocaudal development means development happen from head to toe. Okay. Firstly, a child get control over its head. Understood? Let us move on to proximo-distal development. Proximo-distal development. What is that proximo-distal? Proximo-distal starts in center, like our chest. Proximo-distal development start from center, from the chest. It starts from the chest, moves to the periphery. Periphery means like this, from chest to outline of our body. Okay, so you should remember proximo-distal is nothing but from the center to periphery. Center to periphery. If I take a circle like this is the center of our circle and this is peripheral. Okay, so center to periphery. Accordingly, the spinal cord develops before other parts of the body. The child's arms develop before the hands. Here, arms develops before the hands. Hands and feet develops before the fingers and toes. Okay, first here, which part of the child's body developed? Firstly, arms and then hands and after that fingers. If I take leg, first leg, then toes will be developed in proximo-distal according to proximo-distal development. Have you understood? So let us move to next slide. Next, cognitive domain. It includes cognitive means you should know that it's a cognitive is nothing but it's related to our knowledge like intellectual activities. Okay, intellectual development. Okay, it includes mental or intellectual developments like thinking, perception, memory and reasoning. Language is one of the most important cognitive activities. Some exams like TT exams, they were asked what kind of activity the language is. Okay, at that time they have given option, many other option with cognitive activities. You should choose cognitive activities. Language is related to cognitive, it's related to brain. Okay, but speaking is a motor activity. These 2 points you have to remember in the cognitive domains. Cognitive activity, language is cognitive activity and speaking is a motor activity. Okay, let us move on to look at the picture. In cognitive domain, it related to brain and it includes memory and learning, language, executive function and complex attention, social cognition, perceptual motor functions. Okay, these are the points regarding cognitive domain. Let us move on to next slide. Look at this image. Piaget's stages of cognitive development. It is related to cognitive domain and Piaget, he is a psychologist and he has given 4 stages related to cognitive. First one is sensory motor stage and second one is pre-operational stage and third one is concrete operational stage and formal operational stage. And sensory motor stage starts from birth to 2 years and pre-operational stage from 2 years to 7 years and concrete operational stage 7 to 11 years and formal operational stage 11 above. You can take it as 11 above. Okay, then look at this picture. I just give you brief information regarding this stages of cognitive development. So here sensory motor stage means a child is able to hold the things, okay, which explains about child can hold the things, okay. Then pre-operational stage, here a child can able to utter word sentence correctly, or child can able to speak in pre-operational stage. Here look at this picture, third picture. This boy is holding two glasses. Both the glasses will be having same amount of water, but this glass is narrow and this glass is wider, but both will be having same amount of water inside. Coming to this pre-operation stage, this kid cannot identify both are same. This boy, after seeing these two glasses, it will say this narrow glass will be having more water than this wider glass, okay. But in the stage of concrete operational, concrete operational stage, this child is able to understand both are same, okay, both will be having same amount of water. So that is the difference between pre-operational and concrete operational stage. Then coming to last one, that is formal operational stage, okay. Here in this stage child will be um, able to understand mathematical problems, reasoning and high level thinking, okay. So this is about Piaget's stages of cognitive developments. Let's move on to next slide. Let's start moral domain. It consists development of character. Here child should be able to understand what is right, what is wrong, okay, which attitude or which behavior is accepted by the society. Those aspects the child should be understand, okay. Then it consists development of character, right attitude and behavior towards others in society. According to Piaget, last slide we have discussed about Piaget's cognitive development, stages of cognitive development. Here again he has given the theory about moral domain, moral development also. According to him, the child is someone who constructs his own moral world, weave and forms ideas about right and wrong. This definition you have to remember according to Piaget. Okay, so in moral domain few words are included like care, fairness, liberty, in group, purity, authority. Okay, next slide. And not only Piaget, Kohlberg also given theory about moral development. It's very important than that Piaget moral development theory. So what is there? Let's see. In upcoming classes, I will explain it in detail. As of now, just know there are three levels of moral development. Kohlberg moral development theory, it has three levels of moral development. First one is pre-conventional, conventional and post-conventional. Again this pre-conventional will be having two levels, and pre-conventional will be having two levels, and conventional stage also having two, and also post-conventional stage also having another two levels. Total 6 levels will be there. We can discuss it later on. So then move on to social and emotional developments. It includes relationship with others, means how the child will maintain its relationship with the society or elders or their parents, like that. And how the child interact with its peers, elders, family, etc. Then social roles, how the child will do its role in the society, how the child will follow the rules and norms of the society. This is very important points, like primary social. In socialization, there are socialization is nothing but how the child will interact with others, how it mingles with others, and how it respects others, like that, how it maintains relationship with others. In socialization, there are two types of socialization, uh, primary socialization and secondary socialization. In primary socialization, this you have to remember, in primary socialization, family will come first. Okay. Then secondary socialization, society, neighbors and friends and play group, peers, school, these will come under secondary socialization. These things you have to remember, very, very important. Many times they have asked a question about socialization. Direct questions they have asked. Move on to next slide. At last, emotional development. It's very important. Development of personal traits and characteristics, self-esteem, developing appropriate emotions, feelings, like understanding others' feelings, respecting other emotions, and also knowing ourselves, and like controlling our angers and knowing how to speak. All those things comes under emotional development, how to react to others, like that. Let us see general principles of development. This is also very important. Just remember these words. First one is, it's a ongoing process. Ongoing process is nothing but continuous. Principle of continuity. Principle of continuity. Okay, so it's a ongoing process. Ongoing process is nothing but never ending process. It starts, development starts from birth to till death, so it is continuous process, ongoing process, you can tell. And people develop at different rates, so this development, we cannot say everybody will be having in a same way, okay, same amount. So different people will be having development in a different ways, different areas, and it is directional. It is directional, and gradual development is gradual, and it depends on individual difference. Individual difference, you know that each if I take a classroom, each and every students will not learn fastly. Each and every students will not be knowing or will not be understanding in a same time, at the same time or same way. So that is, maybe some students will be what is that, some students are slow, some students are fast in pursuing things, like that, or understanding things, like that. It is predictable. Developments can be predictable. We can see that, we can see the I mean, if any development is going on in a child, we can observe that, we can predict that. So it can be predictable. Ongoing process is nothing but continuous and never ending process. This you have to remember. Influence of heredity and environment. Of course, heredity and environmental factors plays important role in altering physical and psychological characteristics. Heredity means transfer of characteristics from parents to children through genes. Okay. Then heredity includes hair color, eye color, and body type, height, skin color, all those things included in heredity. Then environmental factors, it includes prenatal development, physical environment, like how much, it includes the quality of air the child breathes, the food the child eats, and exposure to conditions that can cause diseases or injury, including child abuse and neglect. So all these things included in environmental factor, and also learning environment and social and cultural environment, like emotional environment. All these are aspects of environmental factors. So together they play very good important role in physical and psychological, in bringing physical and psychological characteristics. Okay. In this chapter, you have to know two important terms, that is nature and nurture. Nature is related to hereditary characteristics which come from a child's parents, like eye color, facial features, some behaviors, personality traits, like that. Nurture come from environmental factors, okay, like parenting style and educational experiences and cultural background. In the context of nurture, caregivers are very important from birth to at least 2 years. Okay. Then few questions which were asked in CARTET exam. Let's see. Human development is the product of joint contribution of, just now we have discussed, it's a joint contribution of what? Heredity and environment. We should not tell it alone. Okay. So both are very important. Both have equal contribution. So the answer is option D, both A and C. Environment and heredity. Next question. Development is never ending process. It's one of the principles of development. This idea is associated with option A, principle of continuity, principle of interrelation, principle of integration, principle of interaction. You all know that it is nothing but principle of continuity. It is never ending process. It's nothing but development will happen or takes place from birth to till death. So it is a continuous ongoing process. Okay. Survival of the fittest. We will see this in theory of evolution by Darwin. Okay. Option B, Darwin. So according to this theory, who is more capable in this environment, they will be survived. Next, factors influencing the emotional development are physical health, mental abilities, fatigue, all of the above. And the answer is all of the above. So in emotional development, all of these are very important. Physical health also we should have, mental abilities also we should have to maintain emotional things, emotional development, and fatigue will also affect emotional development. So answer is all of the above. Next question. Fifth question. In which stage is the physical stage is rapid? Rapid means fast. So early childhood, infancy, adolescence, school age. The answer is in infancy stage. So child's growth is more rapid in infancy stage. Okay. Next. Next question. Toy age refers to early childhood, late childhood, babyhood, all of this. So babyhood, in the stages of development it is not there, only early childhood, late childhood we have to decide, and in early childhood will be called as toy age, not infancy stage or any other stage. If they have given in the option, you have to choose early childhood. Next question. Which of the following is not a characteristics of early childhood? Pre-gang age, imitative age, questioning age. So early childhood, pre-gang age, it is correct, and imitative age, it is also correct. Questioning age, this is also correct, but it is not a play age. It's not characteristic of early childhood. Okay, so it can be called as this one toy age, but not play age. Don't get confused among these two. Okay, then next slide. According to Lawrence Kohlberg's theory, performing an act, doing something because others approves it, represents dash stage of morality. So this we did not discuss in detail. As of now, just know the answer. It is second stage, that is conventional. Next question, pre-operational stage. After sensory motor stage, we will get pre-operational stage, and from the age of 2 to 7. Okay, pre-operational stage from 2 years to 7 years. Okay, then pre-operational stage in Jean Piaget's theory of cognitive development characterizes. The answer is centration in thoughts. Centration in thoughts. So these are the questions. One more question is there. Zone of proximal development. This also we did not discuss. When it comes to Piaget's theory, we will discuss later. But zone of proximal development is the area between child's current level of independent performance and the level of performance that the child could achieve with the help of adults and more skilled peers. Thank you all. If you like this video, you can subscribe to get more this kind of videos. Thank you all.